because I've been talking the last 15 minutes and I forgot to hit the go live button. I feel kind of silly now. So, there we are. Okay, well, let's start again, shall we? I'm going to switch cameras and. Okay, so, yeah. Hi, guys. Thanks, John. I was trying to figure out why some people weren't able to see it and other people were able, or no one could see it, but people were chatting. So here we go. This is what's going on. I've been talking for the last 15 minutes and with a live studio audience, and I forgot to hit the go live button. So let's start over, and this is the test on how I'm going to do it. So the idea is we start off with a nice intro and some nice music. Let's do that. Okay, so I've got everything set up on the laptop right now, and we're going to jump to music, and I'm going to kill the mic. So this is kind of how I want to start off. So next, let's call it 20, 30 seconds. This is the real start. Here we go. Okay, so that was fun. Let's start over. I'm Chris Wojnicki. I'm the president of the Fourth Astronomical Society, and for everyone looking in now, well, I messed up and forgot to go live 15 minutes ago, so I spent a bit talking. So this is a test broadcast. This is kind of the idea about what I thought about doing for at least Tuesday, a short little mini broadcast, and then in April we can do a full one. My broadcast studio is currently my dining room. We have decent lighting, decent cameras, and I have a laptop set up around so I can go ahead and get work done. The idea is that we can do a mini presentation, or we can do a mini meeting, kind of like what we do at UNT Health Sciences Center. We are not going to be doing the Health Sciences Center meetings because of the COVID-19 coronavirus concerns with large gatherings, and UNT has also canceled all the meeting halls for the next 3 months. So a couple of test things. Please in the chat let me know what the sound quality is like, if I need to speak up, if the sound quality is too low, do I need to bring the microphone a bit closer. Let me know what's going on. And also let me know about video quality. I want to make sure that as I do transitions between screens and then during the presentation, the video quality remains all right. So I am looking at the chat right now. Ooh, yeah, music is much louder than the microphone. Very well, that's something that can easily be dealt with. If the microphone is too quiet, I can go ahead and turn it up. Let me do this. I can move the mic in just a bit so it's a little bit louder. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we can play with that just a bit. So, or I can keep the mic off screen. We'll be playing with other cameras, additional cameras, as well as different microphones. We can test out what the levels are going to be, but in the meantime, I think this is okay. It's my NASA cup. Sorry, I need my tea because I'm going to be talking for a bit. So the idea behind the presentation is we'll go ahead and do it pretty much the same way as we do at the UNT Health Sciences Center. So we'll start off, do an introduction, talk about the club, and then except we won't do the is anybody new here because, well, there's nobody around. So instead, we'll go ahead and just start writing the presentation. So I've got the system set up right now where I can go ahead and swap out to additional feeds, and this is the presentation that I did at the Acton Star Party at the Acton Nature Center back in November. This is the Asteroids, Meteors, Meteorites presentation. This is pretty much the same one that I gave at our meeting in January. I did some modifications for it, and this is one I just grabbed. So it's at least something, and we'll be able to go through it and just show off. So what I've got is control that I can go ahead and go through. So we need to see just how this works. We can have the camera on, we can have the camera off in the corner. So you can see me up in the upper right hand corner. It just depends what we want to do. So depends how much you want to look at me. So for the presentation, go ahead and start, talk about the Astronomy Club, who we are, etc., etc. I need to go ahead and modify our mission statement, but further on. So start off on the presentation, talk about asteroids, meteors, meteorites. We go into asteroids, different types, etc., etc., etc. Meteors, meteoroids, meteor showers. Ooh, let's go back to this one. I want to see how well this one translates to video. So this is a Perseid. It's about a centimeter across, and basically a little piece of gravel. It's probably doing, 72 kilometers a second? Yeah, pretty fast. So again, this is high up in the atmosphere. This is probably 90, 80 kilometers up, and it is 1 centimeter in diameter, and yet it's bright enough that you can see from the surface. So let's go on, and fireballs, bolides, and then let's go to Chelyabinsk, because I want to see how this video translates into YouTube. So we'll just go ahead and go back, and we'll go ahead and play. So this is 14 seconds, and you can see it coming down, and as it comes down, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter until it explodes right there. So bits and pieces keep coming down. So we have 2 pieces of Chelyabinsk. One Patrick has, and the other one, let's see if I have it in an easily accessible place. No, I don't. It's somewhere buried in there, and I'm not going to go dig it out right now. But again, we have 2 pieces of Chelyabinsk from this one, and Patrick has one specifically in the outreach box, and I keep another one for when I do outreach events as well. So I can see Patrick is online as well now. Hi Patrick, I believe this is called a shout out. And off primitive material, where it comes from, we have carbonaceous chondrites, and we have irons. This is, I think I've got this one as well, and my wife has a pendant made out of this one. It's very, very pretty. We have a lunar here. So this is processed achondrites, nickel iron, pallasites, mesositerites. So more chondrites, achondrites. This is howardite, I believe. So this is from Vesta. We have Black Beauty from Mars, more stonies. And where stonies come from, this I think is another Martian shergotite. I'm not 100% positive, but I think it is. This is a Diogenite. No, sorry, this is a howardite. This is a howardite from Vesta. We have the head series, howardites, eucrites, and diogenites. So going through, we have more nickel irons, and I think I have this one. This is a mesosiderite. I'm pretty sure this one's from Poland. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think this is a Vaca Muerte from South America. It is called Vaca Muerte. It is dead cow. Meteorites are named after the location of which they fell. If it falls near a geographical feature, it's named after that feature, and apparently there's something called Dead Cow in the Atacama, where this was found. So if it falls in Fort Worth, it can be called Fort Worth, or it can even be isolated down to, let's say, Benbrook, Arlington, if it does. At the Fort Worth Museum, we have the Blue Mound meteorite, which landed up north of Carswell somewhere. However, that one is not actually an official name. It's never been categorized. It's never been analyzed, and so its unofficial name is Blue Mound, but nobody else knows it even exists other than basically the museum, people who go to the museum. I've talked to Sarah about it, so the museum is planning on having that analyzed so it can get into the catalog. Because of its size, it would be considered a major meteorite. And of course, there's the Brennan there as well. We have the pallasites, which are really pretty, and then off to why meteorites important, sources, blah blah blah, meteorite reporting, fireball reporting, finds and falls. And we have Tomasz Jakubowski from, he's a meteorite hunter in Poland I've worked with, and this is what meteorites look like on the ground when you find them out in the desert. So you can see that they're a lot darker than the surrounding area. So it's actually quite easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. Alright, cool. Everyone says video quality is good. Yes. Jim, you talked about a lav mic. Yes, we do have a lav mic. I will be getting one. I'm waiting for my cousin to bring it over with a better camera as well. So that is an option in the meantime. This is actually a really nice mic. It's a Audio Technica from my DJ days. I just have to turn the gain up a little bit, but sound quality off of this one is pretty good. Just need a little bit of gain. So we have Antarctic meteorites, and this little black one right here. This is the meteorite. It looks different from all the little other rocks all around it. And again, in situ, and we have a rock sitting out in the middle of the ice in Antarctica, where it's really, really obvious that no rock should be out on the ice. We have meteorongs, more meteorongs, and Patrick has our Chinese iron meteorong. That's a piece of industrial waste that was sold as a meteorite off of eBay. So it's a good example of what to show people where you think it could be meteorite, but it's really not. And that's it. That's the end of the presentation. So we're going to swap back to camera 1 and get to see me larger. So we can do a presentation like that, and we can jump to something else. If we have a guest presenter, I think in April, Fred wants to do the presentation. So what we can do is actually have Fred here and swap him out. He'll be able to do the presentation off of a separate camera. Go through, do the same thing where the presenter is up in the corner. We can do a little bit of redesign of the template and go from there. But yeah, I think that's going to be doable. Then go back to me and close it out. The idea is that we do what we would normally do in a meeting. We would have the presentation, we would talk about the club, and then we'd do the club business. Club business may be over the chat. I'm not really sure how to get that done right at the moment. Probably we need some suggestions from the board on if that's feasible. If it's not feasible to talk about that ahead of time, we can get some topics to talk about, do them over the chat. If not, we bring them up in the e-group. That's the other option that we have. But I would be able to show the financials and everything else so that would be visible for all the club members right away. Membership, something else that we need to discuss. We need to go ahead and make it, I mean, if we can't have any new members show up at our meetings because we're not really having any meetings, we need some way for new members to join. So we do have the links on PayPal that we can distribute, and I think we can talk about that. But off the news site, it'll be much easier to do. I need to get working on the news site. I need to finish it up, and now that we're all in basically quarantine, we're not going out and doing anything, so it may give me more time to finally just hunker down and to finish it up. So there's additional stuff that we can do. So something else I wanted to show off is the microscope camera. So this is a USB camera on a microscope. Sorry, let me phrase that. It is a camera that is a microscope that I can feed in directly to the system. So microscope, and we switch over to that. So most of you have seen this one before if you're in the club. This is a lunar meteorite. So this is a piece of Northwest Africa, 14, don't forget, 11421. I knew what the numbers were, I didn't remember their order. So this is 11421, and it is a piece of lunar highland breccia. And I really like the microscope because I can really show off specific details with it. I think I've got the focus. That's bad. That's a bit sharper. So there's plenty of light on it. It's easy to see, and I've got a little scale down below. So the big ticks, basically those two ticks, it goes from 1.5, 1.75. Is that it? No, sorry. That's the way it goes. 1.5 and 2. So each of those ticks are a tenth of a millimeter. So you can kind of get a sense of just how big this is. It is not very big. It's basically 2 centimeters across. But you can, under the microscope, you can really see a lot of the details. You can see the clasts, the white parts. You can see the cement that binds them together, which is the black stuff. You can see little bits and pieces all in there. So it's really a lot more noticeable now under the microscope than it otherwise is. And so what I like showing off is this one, Northwest Africa 8327. It's hard to see there, but that's okay, because that's what the microscope is for. So pull this thing out, bring this one in, and now I have to play with the focus. Probably no, it's not too bad. So all those little shiny flecks in there, that's nickel iron, and all those round bits, those are chondrites. So this is primitive material as well. This is not stuff that was. This could have come from an asteroid, but from a fairly small one, an undifferentiated asteroid with just bits and pieces on it. But it doesn't look like it's had any shock structures in it. It doesn't look like it's metamorphosed. It just looks like little bits of iron all through there, and then all those round little chondrules. So what's interesting about this one, I like to show it off. If you look right there on the edge, well, let's do this. Let's flip it over. There we go. That's the fusion crust on the outside. So that's what's left over as it's gone through the atmosphere. Everything else ablates. So it actually takes the heat away from it as it leaves the main mass. So it's got that nice, pretty, melty kind of look on it. And then when I flip it back over, let's go back to the edge detail. So if you look right there at the very edge of it, I should probably get something to point with, but for now I'll use my finger. Right along there, that edge, that fusion crust doesn't extend to the inside. It doesn't extend to the inside, which means that the heat didn't extend to the inside at all. There was no melt that went through it. It was very just surface heating that ablated away the material. The heat never got to the inside. So even on small things like this, the inside was still the temperature of space when it landed. So this is an end piece, just cut off of the larger mass, but this wasn't very large to begin with either. And you can actually look up this one online and get more information about it. So this is Northwest Africa 8327. Total mass was only 140 grams, and this is a 7.08 gram piece. It's really pretty. I think it's very pretty, and I get a lot of compliments. And something people tend to say about this one is it looks like the Italian terrazzo. That's a concrete flooring that's pretty popular in Italy, I guess. It's got little pieces of brightly colored rock in there, and it's all polished very nicely. And people say that they would love to have a countertop made out of this material. At about $1 to $2 a gram, that's going to be a very expensive countertop. So that's something that we can do in addition. So I can play with that. Whoops. So I'm going to go to the camera, fade back to the main camera. Okay. Anybody have any questions, any comments, any concerns? Go ahead and put it in the chat. If not, I'll go ahead and do the outro, and we can close it off and go back to the e-group and talk about it there, and complain about it, and did I comb my hair, did I wash my glasses, do I need more makeup, um, is the light too much? I actually have a small little studio light that I put on here with a diffuser, so this is lighting me up a lot more. You need lights for video production. The more lights, the better. There's not too much that you can do for overkill for lights. I've been looking at getting some studio lights in here. They're fairly inexpensive now. Some big old umbrella lights or box lights with diffusers. I thought about doing a green screen behind me as well, so we can have something else other than my buffet table in my dining room. Let's see, what else? We have a couple chairs out here, and I have my live studio audience sitting out on the stairwell, whispering, and hopefully you can't hear them. The kid is asleep, which is good. And I think you can actually hear some bubbling water in the background, and let me know if you can. If you can hear that bubbling, that's actually the cat's water fountain. I see someone said, let's see, who is it? John said that I need to move the microphone a little bit closer or talk to it. I can turn up the gain on it, so the gain is actually fairly easy to do. You know what, let's just play with it now, that we can just get the gain in. So, there we go. So I've got 5, let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, let's do 12, close. Okay, how about this? Is this better for audio? I've got the gain turned up to about 12, and even if I face away from it, it's still a little bit higher than it was before. What do you think? John, how's the gain right now on the audio? If not, we'll go to a lav mic. I'll just get that one from my cousin as well. Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow, and test again. I don't think we're going to need Bill's equipment at this point. I think I have everything that I need right now. I could probably use a second good webcam. This is a full HD cam. I don't have a 4K. And the laptop's camera isn't as good, so this is the better way to go. Oh, there is buzz on the microphone. Okay. Yeah, I can see that too. So if that's the case, I can play with something else. There are some limiters I can do on the audio. Let's go ahead and turn the gain down, but a lav mic may be better, so I'm down to 9.6 decibels up. Okay, it is now 8:37. I don't know about y'all, but this has been a really tiring week. So I think I'm going to pack up and go to bed soon. Let's go ahead and test the outro, so see how that goes, and then I'll go ahead and end the stream after about another minute or so. So again, for the outro, I have just a Foot with Astronomical Society page, and I've got links for the website, a link for the Facebook site. I will add in a bit for the YouTube link as well. However, I don't have that yet. So until we get 100 subscribers and get some videos up on there, I can't do that. Once I do, then it'll be fine. So worst case, I'll just start making test videos, putting them up there. We'll take videos. I think Keith offered some of his to put on there. We'll get Sean's intro. They did a couple years ago. We'll upload those, whatever we can upload to, just so we have some videos. And then we'll go ahead and do the Foot with Astro name for the channel, so the URL is easy to remember, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks for everyone who tuned in, and I'll go ahead and sign off, so we will talk to you later. Thank you very much.